Hello, everybody. Thank you for returning to our YouTube channel. I am here, Matthew Creedican, the Navy SEAL with the major war stash going on here, is back. I heard it can't be pierced by armor-piercing bullets. This is legend. But so, we are part of Technology United for Ukraine. Matthew is a part of our organization. We're always looking for engineers, scientists, technologists, or anybody who wants to help out. But Matthew is building his own engineering team. So if you want to work under a Navy SEAL and do some incredible things for Ukraine, technology-wise, come join us. Link is in the description. And remember, we're officially recognized by the Ukrainian Armed Forces now. We are part of the Birds of Fury, which is a Ukrainian R&D unit that we work alongside to develop innovative technologies for Ukrainian Armed Forces. All right, Matthew, let's get right into this. So I am going to share the screen now. And here we go. So this is Magyar. He is the famous drone commander. And he's right now developing a 40-kilometer fiber optic drone. And this right here is our design. This was our first generation. So they ended up getting our design on how to put together these fiber optic drones. And this was our first generation cone right here. But what are your thoughts about the fiber optic drone and how it's working on the battlefield, what you see it can be used for, strategically and tactically?
Yeah, I think it's one of those kind of interim solutions that's going to be really strong over the next year. Everyone's like, there's a lot of people now kind of iterating on the design. Kind of like when you guys first started to introduce us and kick it off on the Ukraine side. I think the plan worked actually. There's always better ways to do stuff, but it actually worked out as a lot of people got a hold of it and started working on various ways to go about it. So it looks like a lot of refinements have come about already, and it'll probably continue to refine the data links. The components have gotten smaller, more reliable. Each piece has gotten faster. Like you can see the reels are starting to get smaller. So in general, you're already seeing a lot of improvements. You're also seeing a much larger volume starting to come out from various groups with some of their own kind of unique takes on it. So I just expect to see it accelerate because the mitigation of it is starting. Like there is, I think, a video here recently of them following the glint from the sun off the right angle of some of the fiber, and they followed it back and struck a team. Russian team,
this
thankfully.
is what you're talking about right here. Watch this. This is what I have a video of that. Watch the glint. See it?
Right
there. That's what you're talking about. It reflects the sun. Everyone see it all over here. This is all fiber optic. What he's talking about.
Yeah.
See this right here? This is all fiber optic right here. I mean, I don't know about you, but I personally would not recommend following it back because typically if it's 20 kilometers out the spool, it's probably crossed over minefields and FPV drones. You may as well
like we're talking following it. You're generally talking about following it with a drone, not following it by hand or anything.
I got you.
You're just using a drone to look for it. So yeah, I mean, like, look, when they launch a lot of these, it can be confusing because if you launch from a bunch of points, like you could be following an already previously used line. So.
Right.
I don't think it's by any means easy, but it's kind of one of those cat and mouse things. Like, will you end up using LiDARs and other ways to detect it? Maybe. There's always the kind of acceleration of video tracking, automated, strike systems, which I expect to see here shortly a lot more of. But just the reliability and the provenness of this fiber, I don't imagine it's going to go away anytime soon.
Now, I'm just going to take this over to our fundraiser we do long. Now, this is the Birds of Fury. This is a fiber optic drone. Now, you see, this is a newer generation of our cone there. You can kind of see how it's evolved from that one you saw Magyar have. And we're doing a fundraiser. We're not doing, actually, the Birds of Fury. So if you would like to donate to a fiber drone production that will go right out onto the battlefield, please click on this link, which is the I'll have this in the description. Why Ukraine? And go over there and you can donate. And the thing is, we want to flood the front lines with these. And each kit is only about $200. So think of that. Take an FPV drone and significantly improve its ability to hit a target. 20 drones are lost in combat, and maybe one makes it, where in this case, we might be able to double that. What do you think about that, Matthew, about putting more fiber optics on drones? You think it will increase the kill rate? I mean, you've been out there on the battlefield. You've seen what it looks like on the front lines.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's about identifying roughly what you want to hit. And I think this would be the interesting thing to talk to some engineers about various ways of detecting and locating enemy forces. And then you could use the fiber optics for more high reliability strike. I think as you start to get more refined reels and ways of paying out the cable and just understanding the balance and weight, these things become a bit more maneuverable. You may have seen some videos. A lot of these early fiber optic drones come in kind of fairly sluggish compared to a regular drone, and it's going to have the one downside of being a bit easier to shoot down if you're ready. But most of the time, a lot of guys they just aren't ready. You hear the thing and then you have a few seconds and it's on top of you. So yeah, especially for those protected, previously protected areas that they used REB and electronic warfare, like mostly immune to that. I expect some, coming designs to be further immune to kind of directed energy type attacks. Like, although we don't really see that as a thing, like,
what do you mean by directed energy, Matthew? When you say directed
so there's
energy?
let's say there's two forms of electronic warfare in a very broad sense. There's kind of your jamming, spoofing, where kind of an analogy of that would be, if we're trying to talk to each other and somebody just turns up the music really loud, it's hard to talk because we can't hear the other guy. But it's not physically damaging our ears or stopping us. Whereas, and this is a rough analogy, if you're hitting something with like EMP pulse, like you're actually injecting electrons into the circuit to the point where it may burn it out, or it may be giving it a bunch of false signals, like indirectly into the circuit itself. Even if like you fly, like they have power line inspection systems, and if you fly close to the high tension power lines, you'll actually get current entering through the navigation lights. So that we suspect that the Russians have been using, directed energy kind of EMP type systems further back to protect some of their higher level assets. So like systems will protect against that kind of stuff. If we're going after really high value targets, it will be important here into the near future. And detecting where these things are and various ways of striking at them. And various ways of going about it. Is be particularly interesting to the team I'd like to work with.
Now, real quick,
and probably fairly exciting. So there's a lot of new stuff coming up. That's just, and the speeds of application are just much higher than what I've ever seen in tech development.
It's going rapidly.
Happy to talk to people that are interested.
And then here, this is somebody's design, but this is more of an inferior cone. We've looked at these, but and you'll see here, this is just a Ukrainian unit that has developed their own fiber drone, and they're just kind of going around it, showing it off. This is pretty big. How many inches is this drone, Matthew?
It's like, what's that, a hexacopter?
Yeah.
All the blades, yeah. Or so it's 6 blades. I just think of it as like a medium to heavy lift type drone.
Medium heavy lift. Yeah, that's
is the R18. I haven't seen the latest version of it. Let me look it up. Looks kind of like similar.
And I'll play this here so everyone can see a fiber. This is Ukrainian fiber drone being used to take out a bridge.
My guess is the one which you're looking at. It's very similar looking to an R18, but it might be a little bit different. Which is like a.
And I just want to say to everybody, maybe there's people who don't know, and I don't think we really prefaced the fiber optic drone cannot be jammed. It has, as you've seen before, it had the fiber comes out the back of the drone itself, so it cannot be jammed. And jamming is the biggest issue on the battlefield right now. So what they were using it for here is to take out a bridge that was loaded with jammers. And, they had to go in there and take this bridge out and, block the pathway of the Russians. But in order to do that, they had to get through jamming. And that's what the fiber optic drone does, is it cannot be jammed. And this is actually, now, I don't think this goes to the kill itself, Matthew, but this one's going to show, oh, no, they're taking out, sorry. This one here is taking out a fiber optic drone. So this is a method the Ukrainians are using. They're cutting the line of the fiber drone. And you
I think
see
this
that?
one. I think this one will just blow it up. But yes, that is a method that's been somewhat effective at mitigating these fiber drones. Is flying down the known flight paths and flying at the right height with the right attachments to try to grab that line and cut it.
Yep, because now you can recover the drone in the spool. And the thing is, you see this? Unfortunately, that spool, it's on a Russian drone, but that is our spool that we developed. And what happened was this right here, and you'll even see this ceramic insert we have. And what happened was, I believe it was Magyar's had a fiber drone where the line got disconnected. And it crashed, and they actually reverse engineered our cone. So, unfortunately, this is what happens in warfare. So what do you think, Matthew? What is the future of fiber drones? You think, obviously, they're here to stay. Are the Ukrainians going to be, our goal, of course, as Technology United for Ukraine is to increase the output volume. Do you see, with your experience working over there with the Ukrainians, do you see them really adopting this technology in mass now?
Oh yeah, it's not going to be the end all. I already think that visual targeting systems, independent of any kind of connection, will be the ultimate or much more predominant solution in the future. But in this interim time, there's really not going to be. Look, it's a proven and working solution at a relatively low cost. So it's I think now some of the newer prices coming back with the reel and associated media converter is like $100. So that price might drop a little bit more, but what you're going to do is get better and better reels, tighter reels, and more better balanced designs. So they're going to fly faster, more reliably, and it's going to be about volume of output. And then I wouldn't be surprised if you don't start seeing fixed wings starting to use them to get further, or stuff launched off of motherships that's using like a radio backhaul, and then it's going to use a fiber drone to get into the last mile. Maybe and I'll leave out some of the other technologies that maybe seem obvious, but like paranoid to talk about. So there's probably some additional applications that we'll see coming here in next three months or so, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting developments going on there. They're beginning to evolve rapidly, the Ukrainians, and they're getting a lot of outside help, not only from us, but from other organizations. And everybody will appreciate you guys coming to watch the videos with me and Matthew again. And remember, Matt, come join Matthew's team. If you're an engineer, scientist, technologist, he's looking for people who can help out with some projects that he has. So come help make some innovative technology under the leadership of a Navy SEAL. It'll be amazing. All right, brother, you want to say your final words?
Yeah, I really look forward to talking to you guys. Happy to go into more details if there's people out there that are interested in joining. And yeah, thanks for setting all this stuff up, Brian.
All right, brother. Slava Ukraini.